Okay, now, what are we going to talk about now is this concept, which is amazing as you can see, and we will do it. This is a concept which is a tail and a little bit of a cape from a drawing of one guy who is very underestimated in our station, and his name is in the description of this video, and I will do the head without showing you the actual concept at all, which is great. But I want to talk about something else. I want to talk about the dangers of walking and looking at your phone at the same time. And this is actually very dangerous. Why, you will ask? Why? Why is it dangerous? Because sometimes, especially if you're tall, you can hit your head at something and it could be bad. And I did just that a couple of days ago. I was walking and I was looking at my phone, and suddenly I felt a big hit on my head and I sat down on the ground. And I was like, whoa, mother, something like this, I said. It was interesting. And it happens that it was some kind of a tree branch which is above the sidewalk. So I was walking on the sidewalk watching my phone. I didn't see this and it hit me right here, and you can see where exactly it hit. Yeah, now it's okay, but I'm more black and this is more white because it's a new skin. So dangerous. You have to be careful. Look at your surrounding at all time, and especially while you're driving. Never drive and text. For example, I saw in the highway when we were going back from the vacation, in the highway we saw one car in front of us which was going like this, so like this and then like this, fortunately there were not too many cars in the highway at that time, but it was very curious what's happening. And I saw there was this woman in this car who was texting and driving with 120 kilometers an hour at least. So I would say this was not the best idea ever. Maybe there was something emergency or something, but it's better to just stop on the side of the highway, for example, and no emergency is worth risking yours and other people's lives, I guess. Maybe there are some emergency that could be worth it, but I doubt that that was the case with her. Who knows? But yeah, walking and watching your phone and driving and watching your phone, always kind of not the best idea ever. You can always bump into something and it wouldn't be very cool, as you can see here with this white things. I was like, boom, and then sit down on the ground. And yeah, not the best experience. It was nothing too much though. It was nothing ultra painful or whatever, but it was unnecessary, I would say, pretty much. It could be avoided if I was a little bit more cautious, careful, whatever. So let's see this. What we are trying to do here, this head. It's not easy, I would say. Many people are saying, this head is super easy. No, it's not. I tried to do it once and I failed. Even me, I failed. Yeah, I failed. Why? I didn't put too much time, It was just a very little attempt, but still, it's not easy. Some people were trying to do it in the Discord server challenge, and some of them did it pretty well, I would say. They didn't fail like me, so it's great. For them. For me, not so much, as you probably will notice. Alright, now we will do some stylized hair in here, and let's see what we can do about the face. So the nose and the lower lip are pretty close together, so let's do that. Yeah, we have to analyze the distance between things and everything in order to make something that resembles our subject. It's always the case when you're doing something from concept. And we, as 3D character artists, some of you are, some of to see what will happen. But as I said, some of us are trying to be character artists, and we always want to be able to make something from a concept, and this means analyzing the concept. If you cannot analyze it quite well, you will definitely not be able to do what's necessary to be done. Okay, it's looking kind of close to our concept. I wouldn't say the best. The face of our concept is something between a man and an animal, you know, probably a wolf. And I watched the art station of this guy just before I started the stream, and I didn't see this concept anymore there. I don't know why. I don't know why. Probably it's there, but I didn't see it. He has less than 1,000 subscribers, by the way, of followers in ArtStation, which is very underrated. Underrated, yes, underrated. He deserves a lot more. He's a very, very good artist. I guess from China he was, I'm not sure. Okay, now we have to make also some teeth, probably, yes. Greetings from Colombia. Hello, Colombia. Colombia is here, so we have South America. Some of them are awake. Good. Because Colombia, according to some people, is in South America. Some people would say that that's not true, but I guess it should be true, since I know a little bit about geography, and my knowledge is telling me that Colombia is in South America. The continent, South America. There are not too many countries in North America though. So North America is like USA, Canada, and a little bit of Mexico, probably. I'm not sure about that. Or the whole Mexico, I'm not sure. But probably the whole Mexico is there in North America. Or it's in South America. Can somebody check if Mexico is in South or North America, or both? It could be both. Why not? Thank you for these videos. It helped me so much to get better at sculpting. Just finished my first paid model. Ooh, nice. You're starting to get money out of this, which is great. By the way, I always say that, especially these days, since the economy of the world is in a little bit of a rough spot right now, not many people are willing to give money for games and for models, whatever. So it's a little bit more difficult to find jobs these days. Not a little bit, a lot more difficult, I would say. So yeah, keep that in mind. Don't keep your expectations too high when you are searching for a job. Even if you have relatively good skills. Maybe you have a relatively good skill, but as I said, it doesn't matter that much. Yeah, if you are amazingly good, probably it will matter. Let's flip this. But usually, even I am not amazingly good. I'm just a little bit above average, probably, or a lot above, but it doesn't matter. The skill is not the point. The point is there is no work that much. Even the studios now are letting off people, and it's looking bad, but as I say, and I always say that, it's normal for everything to have cycles. So now we are in a low point of the cycle, in economy wise and job wise, probably we may say. So we have to consider that. He's a little bit more sinister in my sculpt, I would say. But yeah, it's not a problem if he looks relatively fine. We could be fine. let's rotate this 180 degrees and put it into position like this. I usually do that to save time, but it's also viable to do it with, you know, in your normal sculpt. I was planning to do the teeth from the mesh of the head, but it wouldn't be that good. I mean, yeah. And then if we want to color it, for example, it would be bad for the coloring, as you probably can imagine, because we have to color it kind of separately, the teeth. They have to be white. And it's better if we have a separate mesh, as we already do. We have a separate mesh, which is great. We could have a separate mesh for the eyes too. But you see, the head is the most important part of the model, yes. But we also have to do some body work. We cannot do only head this time, because I was saying, now the title of the video is not saying any time. So not 1 hour, 2 hours, doesn't matter. We will try to do something a little bit better. Maybe it will take us a little bit more time, but it doesn't quite matter. Sometimes the longer videos, even if the YouTube algorithm doesn't see them fit for showing because they are too long, which is fine, sometimes they are better. You can learn more things from them. Especially if you scroll, if you scroll too much through the video, when the video is kind of online, not live, you will not learn too much probably. But you will see some things, yeah. But you will not learn the main truths that I'm saying, you know. Like, don't walk and watch your phone because you will get something like this. And don't drive and also watch your phone because you can kill or injure yourself or others, which you don't want to do. Definitely you don't want to do it. If you want to hurt yourself or others, you should probably not do it, but seek some help, because this means that there is something wrong with you. Usually we as people are aiming for something greater. We are aiming for improving ourselves. We're aiming for something good. And usually when we do something good for society, we are getting something in return for ourselves. And we feel good for ourselves when we do that. If you try to do something bad for society, then something is wrong inside, and you should kind of seek help and maybe fix it, because you will be, if you don't fix it, whatever you do, you will be miserable. And that's not the point of life. The point of life is to be happy. In order to be happy, we need to do some things like help others, help our immediate society, like for example go outside and clean outside your space. We are living in blocks here in the former Soviet countries, we may say, living in these big panel buildings. And yeah, sometimes I go outside with my, I will show you with what I go outside with this thing, because my back is hurting and I cannot go quite well to bend. So I just stand and grab some garbage from the street and I put it in a big bag, which then I throw in the trash. So I'm cleaning sometimes. And what this brings for me is kind of a pleasure that I'm doing something for the society. It's also for myself, for my own good, because I like cleanness. Usually outside my house I like cleanness. If you look at my desk, I hope that nobody looks at my desk, because it's like not very good. But outside I like it clean. Inside it's my business. Outside is our business. All of our business. What's the sound? I wanted to try the sound he keeps cutting off. This is the cute furry. Yeah, this is the amazing cute furry, yeah. What was the name of the game you work and show us the last stream? It was Heroes of the Dark. Okay. Nico, what's your opinion on people who are whack? I don't know what whack means. Hello, my friend, you are the best. Probably not so much, but thank you. Do you think it's better to sell assets like clothes, weapons, rather than full-fledged characters? I don't know. You have to check out by yourself. I don't know. Life is meant to be enjoyed. Yes. Did you watch Pereira versus Jury? No, no. Jiri. It would be a nice match though, but I don't think Jiri has something to offer on the table. Pereira is just a little bit more of a beast, but maybe it was a surprise, I don't know. Don't tell me, I will watch it sooner rather than later. But I haven't watched it yet. We have to do a certain body. This head is not of my liking completely, but we'll see what we can do about it. Especially from the side view. We are 3D character artists, so we have to make sure that our models look nice from all angles, not only from the front view. And that's the kind of a difficult part sometimes, especially when you don't have any other views of your concept. You have only this kind of a front or 3/4 view of a concept. And those hairs that we see right here, they are bad because they look identical to each other. We need to have one big one, for example, another a little bit smaller one here. Maybe the other one will be a little bit more here like this, and even smaller than the other. I don't know, but it has to be a variety. If there's no variety, it will be boring, and with boring comes bad. It's just simply not good. Now it's a little bit better, it's a little bit more with variety, so it's cooler, I would say. Life is meant to be enjoyed. Yeah, sometimes, yeah. Would you say it's hard to go from Blender to ZBrush? I'm currently trying to learn it, and if you got any tips. No, I haven't learned ZBrush from Blender. ZBrush was the first sculpting program I've learned. And it's awkward, I know it's awkward and everything, but it's learnable. Many people have learned it, so if you want to learn ZBrush, you will learn it. You know, when people want something, they find ways. If they don't want something, they find excuses. So if you can find many excuses not to learn it, but if you really want to learn it, you will. There are a lot of free tutorials in YouTube you can check out. You have to spend, of course, a couple hundred hours, probably. Let's say 300 hours will be enough for you to start doing kind of good in ZBrush. Around 300 hours, I would say. It's not you know, this is not something like science or mathematics or whatever, but this is just my estimation. Approximate estimation of the amount of hours you would need. Now I will do this, but a little bit more like this. And then I will take the body and, not the body, but the neck, and I will fix it around what we have. It's cool. Yeah, we need to rotate this a little bit, and yeah, for 20 minutes we have something, not too much. I'm not used to doing these furries, and yeah, many people will say that this is not exactly a furry, but many people will say it's a furry. So who will win? I don't know. We have to make a contest probably about, is this a furry or not? Let the best man win. I don't know. Furry or not, here I come, you can hide. Gonna find you and make you want me. You know, furry or not, we have to do it. That's the idea. So he has a pretty small waist, as you probably can see now. Small waist. So we have to try to achieve this, and we will. We will try. We will not achieve it, but we will try. Or we will achieve it. I don't know. We'll see. It doesn't matter. We have to make this indentation here in the back, although it's not visible, but I just like to do it. It's not a problem, you know. Yes. Oh, with all this speaking, my mouth is kind of dry. Do you need to do a topology for rigging? Yes. Usually, yes. We know about your desk. It has its own universe. Yes, it has its own gravity and everything, laws of nature. It's just another world, you know. My desk. It's just another world. Now even I have a Kindle here. Kindle. Actual Kindle. I disassembled the Kindle. Why? Because I need to change the battery. So I'm now waiting from AliExpress for the new battery to come. And I will hopefully be able to change it and assemble it back together. I'm not sure. I'm not saying that I will, but I should be able to. Let's see. Huh. This battery is not exactly that bad, I would say. It come down with just sitting from 92% to 53%, so 40% in 10 days. 4% a day. But this for Kindle is a lot because it's not supposed to burn any power while just sitting around without working at all. I don't know. Whack means they're bad people, they're idiot. Yeah, they're, you know, in psychology there are something called, there's no psychology, but whatever, low quality people, you know. And the definition, maybe I don't know exactly the definition of low quality people, but I know some qualities of them. So they are usually talking pretty loud without any consideration of who they are, if the people want to listen to them or something. No, they are just speaking out loud. So it's like me, you know. They're also littering. They are throwing garbage everywhere. They think that the world is their, you know, trash can. Other things they do is, yeah, other things. I mean, bad people. Or low quality people. But judging other people, which I do, leads to what? Leads to several things. First, you always think while you're walking the street that somebody will judge you, and you are always anxious about it. If you stop judging people, I notice that when I stop judging people, or I try to stop judging them, it's difficult for me. But when I try to stop judging people, then I don't care about them or anybody judging me, which means that I'm a little bit more comfortable with myself and with everything. It's just a strange feeling. It's very nice. So if you want to stop being afraid of something from other people, like being judged or whatever, just stop doing it yourself. And at some point you will be more, you know, relaxed. This is just my advice, you know. Maybe you can take it, maybe you don't. It's just my advice. I realized that today. I was walking and I was with my flip-flops and t-shirt and shorts, and it was windy and cold outside, and all people were with kind of jackets and everything, because there is some kind of a cold wave coming through here. And you know, I didn't care about them judging me, like this guy is with flip-flops and shorts and t-shirt. I was first, before I go out, I do some push-ups, so I get warm up, so I can go out without any problem. It's not cold for me when I am warm up. And then, when I got back, I went and do some pull-ups on the bar, like 25 pull-ups. Not at once, but yeah. And then it was super nice for me, everything was cool. But I guess some people were like, this guy, he's probably crazy or something, you know. Maybe they're not, but since I usually judge, I think that probably some people are judging too, you know. But if I stop judging, I start to not care that much. So if you want to kinda get away with the feeling that somebody is judging you or thinking bad things about you, you have to probably stop doing that yourself. Most of the time we are doing things that we are not afraid, but we are frustrated from other people if they do that. Sometimes we do that, you know. And if we stop, probably this will not be frustrating anymore. We will not assume that they are doing it since we are not doing it, you know. Now, since I'm judging most of the time, I'm like, this guy is fat, or how can this guy be so fat, you know, why he didn't train, or why he didn't care about himself, this kind of things, you know, stupid stuff, because it's not my business, but it's just, you know, something that it needs to change, but I'm working on it. And then I'm thinking that people are also doing the same for me. You know, who is this guy? Why is he so tall, for example? Or why is he so bald? Why can't he have hair? Or something like this, you know, stupid stuff. It's interesting. Life is very interesting when you start realizing some stuff about yourself, about some, you know, emotional stuffs. Usually we artists, we don't care about emotions. We are emotionless. We are a little bit sociopaths. But at some point, when you have kids especially, and you want those kids to be raised well, without all your childhood traumas that you have, I have. You should read, there's a lot of information, and maybe I will do a channel at some point when I realize things more clearly. I will do a channel about psychological thinking, childhood traumas, how to get over them, but first I need to get there, you know, and I'm not yet there. I don't like this fist at all. It's just stupid fist. But I know how to fix it. Because I'm an artist. And maybe a little bit of a sociopath, I don't know. But not in a bad way. Just I'm a little bit anxious around a lot of people. For example, now when we were on the beach, and some of the days it was pretty full, and there were a lot of people around us, and I realized at some point that I was tense, you know, I was like, what's happening, a lot of people around, but not consciously, subconsciously. And I tried to relax and everything will be okay, nobody will try to do anything, you know, everything will be fine. Probably some of you will realize or recognize yourselves in this. Probably some of you will say Nico is crazy. But it is what it is, you know, it's not something that I'm proud of or not proud of. It's just simple facts in life. An anxiety sometimes hits you. My anxiety, I think it's pretty mild. It's not something that I cannot overcome. I guess there are people who are far worse, so yeah. I'm feeling lucky, maybe we can say. Some people cannot even get away out of their homes because of this anxiety. And that's a huge issue already. Okay, we are paying too much attention of the fist, but fist as the face is one of the important parts of the overall well-being of our characters, so we should pay a little bit more attention to it. By the way, when I was on the beach, I noticed that Bulgarians, since I'm a Bulgarian, are getting pretty fat. So we are kind of getting... obesity is a pretty good thing, or not good. It's not exactly a good thing, but it is really a thing here in Bulgaria, obesity. We have already in the stores a lot of sweet things, very accessible, not very expensive. Everybody is eating junk and we are starting to get fat. And that was not good, you know, that's not good. But why am I saying that? I don't remember what I was about to say. It's just, I noticed that on the beach. That's many people were just with huge bellies, especially men. You know, if there is a huge belly of a older woman, for example, I would say yeah, it's normal, the hormones and everything. But when it is a man like my age with a huge belly, like he's pregnant, I feel that that could be a problem. They're not taking care of themselves too much, letting themselves go. But, you know, again, judging, you know, here it is, the judging part. Why am I judging other people? You know, instead of judging, we should just observe, and that's it, no judging. Just observe, okay? This guy has a huge belly, fine, cool. Maybe he's eating a lot, but it's fine. We're not judging. Maybe he's drinking a lot of beer, but it's fine, we're not judging. Maybe he's just stupid. No, it's not like that, you know. No, this is judging. No, don't judge. Okay, we're spending too much time on this stupid fist. And now, judging the fist. It's stupid fist? No, we shouldn't do that. It's just a fist. It's probably not looking great, but it's whatever it can be, you know. It cannot be the best fist ever. Can you maybe do, instead of face cam, do a like tablet cam, so we can see how you work. So we can see how I'm doing this on the tablet. It shouldn't be that interesting, you know. Yeah, since you're a beginner, you probably don't know that this will not be at all useful for you. You know, tablet cam definitely will not be useful for you. Since my tablet is a non-display tablet, and you will see just one piece of black thing, and I'm just doing this over it. It definitely will not help you. But yeah, I'm just saying. Maybe you will, you know, get the knowledge from just the strokes. Which I don't think it's possible, but who knows? There are some genius people around. We don't know. You never know if you don't go. You never shine if you don't glow. Bum bum bum, hey now. Artist Nico becomes psychologist. Yes. You use mouse. Yes, sometimes I use mouse. Nico for president. Hopefully not. First, power corrupts. Greater power corrupts greatly. That's first. Second, I'm afraid of being in charge of people, you know. This is not what I like. And why is that? I don't feel confident that I can lead people, you know. That's one of the things. I don't like the responsibility. And also, I'm pretty sure I will be corrupted at some point. Because, you know, many people have tried it and say, okay, we will be the best. we will go with the best intentions, and they go with the best intentions, and after a couple of years they realize nothing actually can be done. So why don't we make well for us, our children, you know, and we just corrupt ourselves and get the money and everything will be okay. And that's what they do, most people. So in order to avoid it, the easiest way is to not become any kind of a figure like a president or whatever. This will be the best way to avoid corruption. I might think I'm better than others and I will not be corrupted, but that will be a false thing to think, you know. It's not. People change, and since people say power corrupts, this saying is not for nothing, you know. It is real, and actually it does that to people. And I'm actually a people. I'm just a man, you know. I can be corrupted, I guess. Even if I go with the best intentions to fix things, I maybe will be able to be corrupted. What's happening now? Sphere. Why do we need a sphere? For the leg. Why do we need the leg? That's a good question, by the way. Why do we need a leg? The leg is something that people need sometimes for walking, and it's not bad to have it. Our character, in the concept, he has some legs, so probably it will be a good idea to make some legs in our 3D model. So hopefully that answers your questions about the legs. Why and when and how. Or not. I don't know. Mirror them and see what's happening. Okay, let's mirror them. Come on. Okay. It looks yeah, sometimes it looks funny, you know, but we are not quitting. We're continuing to work until we have a nice ass, nice model. Very nice model. Probably we will not have the best model ever right now, but at least the ass is decent, right? So yeah, at least that's the thing here, and we need that. We need that little win about the ass. Then we will see what we can do. Okay, this is a blockout. This is a serious blockout now, so don't laugh. It's a serious thing, a blockout. We'll see how this will go along the way. Would you rather be disabled or have legs? That's a very good question, by the way. That's a very deep question. What disability can do for you and what legs can do for you? Yeah. Very, very deep question. Or not. Maybe it's not exactly that deep. Maybe it's just a question. Ooh, I don't like this. I don't like the legs. Why I have selected the legs? Sometimes Blender do this kind of strange things. Or sometimes we make mistakes. Which could be true, by the way. We can make mistakes, right? It's not that we are unmistakable or we are mistakeless. No, we can make actual mistakes or mistakes. Yeah. But you know, in English, you write mistakes and you read mistakes, which is what's happening here. At least in German, usually, you write and you read the same. Not like in French or English. Yeah. In my opinion, many people will ask which for you is the most difficult language. I have asked many people. My opinion doesn't matter. I have asked many people and they say French. French is the most difficult language of the world. Not Japan language, not Chinese, no. French. French is the worst. Of course, French people probably will not agree. They will say, French, I know it since I was 2 years old. What are you talking about? It's not that difficult. Yes, probably they are right for themselves. But for us, it's difficult. He will finish the model at all costs. What would you do if you were streaming and got a heart attack? This probably will come. This day probably will come if I continue to stream. With these questions. But yeah, we'll see. Nobody will know. You know, we never know when we don't have the information. Yes. When we don't have the information, we just don't know. That's one of the wisest things that you will get from me, this stream. You don't know if you don't have the information. So take it or leave it. Up to you. I know this is very wise, and it's amazing that you are in this stream and you are watching this and you are seeing this this amazing and gold wisdom that's coming out of my mouth. But sometimes it happens, you know. Sometimes it just happens. And we need to just be aware of it. The wisdom, I mean. The wisdom. It's very wise. But you never know if you don't go. You never shine if you don't glow. Hey now, you're an all-star. German is easy for the Germans. Bonjour from France. Bonjour. Comment ça va? Comme si, comme si, comme si, comme ça. Yeah, I know French, I know everything, but I'm just saying, you know. Let's see, the feet are the most difficult thing to do in the world, hands down, you know. Everything else is just a piece of cake, but the feet, they are just outrageous. I don't know why God or somebody created feet, you know. They are... Why should you do that? Without feet, it will be just kind of a sharpened thing. The leg will be something like sharp on the bottom, and it will be much easier to sculpt. Those feet are not very easy to sculpt, I would say. It's... But whatever, you know, we don't have to complain. It is what it is, we just deal with it. Whatever. This is the smart way to deal with it, instead of complaining about something you cannot change. Now we have feet, yes, I understand. And we have to do them properly, or at least kind of do the feet. We may not like it, but we just have to do it. Feet. Next Aziz maybe, yeah, next Aziz hopefully. I like Aziz so much that hopefully I'm next Aziz. Aziz is a Bulgarian singer, very famous. He's famous even in some neighboring countries, and he's singing very well. He has very specific high voice, like this, at some points. He sings basically like a woman, but he's a man, which is interesting. So yeah, I will be next him. Or not. Okay, the legs are getting there little by little and bila by bila. If you don't understand the reference, you don't live in Europe, most likely. In Europe, you know what Lidl is and what Billa is. And those are the biggest, I think, chains. Kaufland, yeah, Kaufland also is something like that. Big food and other things chain. A grocery store chain, we may say. But why are you talking, Nico, about grocery store chains? I don't know. It just came into the conversation. What about Chinese language? Tough or easy? I don't know. I haven't learned it. I don't if she's lighter or the sun, but Nico looks like he spent a few days sunbathing on the beach. Yeah, except for my thing here. For me, arms are the hardest to sculpt. Arms are the hardest because you haven't practiced them as a child probably that much. For me, arms are not that hard because I was drawing arms like crazy when I was young. Faces and arms, I was drawing the most. And bodies sometimes. But legs, feet, not at all. That's why I am not very good at them. Even now, they are a little bit frustrating for me. Yes, I can do them. Yes, I kind of know how to sculpt them because I have practiced a lot. I knew that I have a problem with legs, and I've practiced a lot just that, sculpting legs. And now I can do it relatively well. Doesn't mean that I like it. But it doesn't mean it matters, you know, what we like or not. We have to do it, and we do it. Just like that. Okay, he is looking not so great. I don't know why exactly he's looking not so great. Maybe the pose, it needs to be more forward like this, a little bit more. And the legs back, because he will fall back. And he's probably a little bit longer than the concept. Maybe his head should be bigger, or the body should be smaller. Let's make a smaller body, a little bit smaller body, to see what will be. Okay, now it's... Okay, let's try to make some armors, which will be bad, but we will do it. First armor will be this one. Let's try to do it with a cylinder. Cylinder is a very good thing to do. What? No. Okay, let's turn it like this 90 degrees. I'm just thinking because I don't know exactly how to do this. I haven't practiced doing this particular armor yet. So now this is the practice that I will do. Yeah, it's not very interesting to practice while streaming. But sometimes we have to do what we have to do. Now, let's go with Y symmetry. Yes, it will be Y symmetry. And why symmetry, you will ask? Because we have to, you know. But Nico, why symmetry? And that's exactly the symmetry we want. The Y symmetry. In this case. But why? Okay. Let's see. Here it's like this, and then this will be... Okay, like this. I think this should do it. And when we have this piece, we will easily do the others easily. Which means, like this. Take this, make one thing like that, and maybe a little bit. You know, I'm not explaining quite well, right? Yeah. I'm saying this and that, and a little bit like this and like that, and you are like, what's happening? Yeah, you will see. First or second, we put this, but we want it to be the same distance from the sides. So let's go and even. Now it's good. And let's move it closer. No, it's not good. So, let's make it again. And now it's even because I made it even last time. It should be even, yes. Good. It's not the best, but it's fine. Now what I will do is add a solidify modifier and make it thick. I always like to make those things a little bit thicker than they'll be in real life. Then I will go and Shift D, X, Z. No, Z was not a good idea. Move it here, rotate it, and place it. This doesn't look like the kind of armor we want exactly, but we'll see. Yeah, we need more, probably a little bit more geometry, so it's more roundabout. Now I will move it, the whole thing, a little bit here, and it will move with the symmetry, which is great. I will move it around this area, and then I will continue to work on it. And there should be 2 of those, and another one. Amazing, Nico, today you are so good with words. It's just amazing. How can you say all those very wise things? Yeah, okay. Now we take this, duplicate it, move it down with Z, and when I duplicate it, I try to keep it kind of in the same axis, otherwise we'll have issues. Now it's in the same axis. This is not good. I will separate it because it will be easier to move it. I can then always go and combine it with the others, but now I'm separating it for a while. Okay, this is something like an armor that we want. Now, this arm, by the way, one of the arm, this one, it needs to be different than the other. I mean, it has to be lifted. So we will do that now. Now we will do that, yes. Apply the mirror, then go L, select this, P selection, then Alt Q selected, and then, of course, move it. Move it and place it like we want. It needs to be more bent, probably, and more rotated from here, from the elbow. This looks awful, so let me try to fix it a little bit. The shoulder, of course, needs to change, and the chest muscle also needs to change in this position. We will go disable the symmetry and change it a little bit like this. This is how the chest change when we lift up the arm. Now the arm still doesn't look quite well, so we will go and continue to develop this particular arm because it looks awful and we don't quite want that. Let's make the pose of the arm, at least try to do it. This, and smooth a little bit the mask. The mask, smooth it. Don't worry. Okay, and now guiding light. We will rotate it and then rotate it like this. It's amazing how much rotation we can get from this. I would say it's not the best, and probably you will agree with me. It's not the best looking, but it will not be. It will be at some point. We'll remesh it and resculpt it, but it's looking kind of relatively, yes, no, maybe it's... Let's push it a little bit like this. And the wrist we need to also fix a little bit, but we'll see. As you can see, this is not going well, you will say, but it's not a problem. What we will do here is inflate, remesh, and resculpt. And when we remesh and resculpt, everything should get back to the primitive, to normal. Back to the primitive. Fuck all your politics. Yeah, Sepultura said it back in the days. Fuck all your politics, you know. And that's absolutely true. Politics are for the politicians. They're playing their games. Some politicians, they care about their nations, especially European politicians, some of them. From the other politicians, especially more dictatorship-oriented ones, I would say they're not caring about their people too much. They're caring about their votes sometimes. Sometimes they don't even care about that because the votes are already theirs. So they don't actually care about anything that you can offer them or they can offer you. They care about themselves. For example, let's take one very good guy. Everybody loves him. He's a great politician, been in the politics for over 20 years. Amazing guy, we all love him. Putin. Amazing. And this guy, he doesn't care about money at all now. He only cares about his legacy. Only, you know. He has power for a long time. He has money for a long time. He has everything. But his name in history, in the Russian history, of course, is what he cares about. Only this, in my opinion. Of course, this is my opinion. All my opinion. And that's why he's doing those stupid things. But stupid for me. For him, legacy. Amazing. Okay, not super bad, but not quite amazing as well. Could it be amazing though? No. Probably no. But let's select those and join them together, and then we will generate one mirror and put it here, apply the mirror, and then we will go and select those and rotate them and put them here. Because this other arm is down. So it'll be something like this. Now, with this shoulder armor, it's starting to look a little bit like the concept, which is not bad. I would say not bad. Nico, you're still getting it. You're still getting. You're talking about politics sometimes, and we will kill you for that, but you are good. You're good, yeah. Nico, don't talk about our president. Блядь. Ты не знаешь, что он делает. Он родолюбец. Yeah, I'm trying to speak a little bit Russian here, which probably I'm butchering it a little bit, but I'm trying at least, you know, points for trying, right? Yeah. Not hearing about expectation tools. Hey Nico, how are you been? Missed your streams. Yeah, but my streams are almost every week, sometimes twice a week even. So I don't know how you missed them. How you missed them? What are you doing? What's happening here? Don't miss them, or miss them. Doesn't matter. I mean, the stream is in YouTube. This stream will be in YouTube, so don't worry. If you miss it, you will catch it later. And you will see all the smart and wise and amazing things that I'm saying. Yeah. And while I'm trying to speak Russian, French, or even Turkish, you know. Merhaba, nasılsın? I know this, only this. And some other things, but they are curses, so I don't want to say them. It's not good. Maybe YouTube will ban me. By the way, YouTube algorithms are the best. They are still trying to kind of disable my video that I did, this naked girl that I did a couple of lives ago. And I did it from scratch. I did this is not pornography or something. This is art, we may say. But the automatic algorithms, they say it's nudity, it has to go. And I say, no, it's not, it has to stay. And they say, yeah, you're right, it has to stay. And then again, after a couple of days, they say, this is nudity, it has to go. And I say, no, it's not, it has to stay. And they say, yes, you're right. It's not, it will stay. And it stays. And it's the same thing all over again. It's just amazing. YouTube is just super nice. Super cool. And again, I'm judging, you know. You see what I'm doing here? Judging, again, like always. The judging type. That's me. If you want something to judge you, don't go to Judge Dredd or Judge Jude or some other judge with not pronunciation. Go to Judge Nico. Judge Nico will judge you without any judgment. It's just not judgment, just judge you. But Nico, what you're talking about? How you judge without judgment? Yeah, no, this is but I'm professional, so it's normal. I can do it. Not many people can, but I can. Okay, now we have to do the armor. How to do the armor? We'll see. What do you think about putting in general? I don't know. I don't like him too much, but it's my opinion. But as I said, power corrupts. Great power corrupts greatly. He has great power. You know, one of the biggest countries. I mean, the biggest country by landmass in the world is Russia. He has like many riches of the earth, like oils and other things in his possession, maybe we can say. And this probably corrupt him a lot. But I'm not actually feeling pity for him that much. He is doing what we need to do to survive. It is normal. Everybody probably in his position will do the same, especially people who are thinking that they are important and they are strong. And that's the problem. Those are all the dictators. They think they are strong. They think they are their ego is taking over every time, and that makes people suffer. Ego of this people with power usually leads to suffering of all other people. It's never a good sign to have a egomaniac leader. But you know, for a dictator to not be egoistic and selfish and whatever, it's impossible. If he's a dictator, he has those qualities, and he's also sociopath, probably psychopath. Maybe he has those kind of things. Or at least he behaves in such way. But of course, that are just my thoughts. Maybe he is such a nice guy, and maybe his advisors are to blame for everything. They told him invade. They told him mobilize. They told him everything. He has no actual blame, you know. We cannot blame him. He's innocent. He's like a child. He didn't do anything. Probably. We don't know. We don't have enough information. And as I said earlier, when we don't have enough information, we usually don't know. And there are always people in the comments that they will say, Nico, why are you speaking about things that you don't understand? Because I have to say something, you know. I have to speak about things here. And if you don't like it, you're welcome to leave. It's not a problem, you know. It's fine. You can leave. It's fine. no problem. Okay, we are, how much time? Oh, 1 hour. 1 hour, and we haven't done shit, we may say. So I'm speaking about a lot of things, but Nico is not working hard enough. Nico, please, work harder. What are you doing? Nico, you were famous for being the fastest man alive. Nico, you were faster than A-Train, Superman and Flash combined. But now, you're blubbering about things and you don't do your job. And now your model looks like crap and you haven't done anything yet. Anything sufficient. And people who say that, they will be right. They will be completely right. I'm sorry to say that, but they are right. It's so sad. Okay, let's rotate this like this. To be a little bit more like the concept. And maybe a little bit like this. Okay, let's move it. Because I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. I like to move it. Boom, 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 boom. Pretty nice song, right? I know, I know. Okay, now what we need to do is the armor. Now, what can we say about the armor? The armor is like from here going like this and this and this, and there are some elements that we probably will not be able to do, although we can try. First, we will select the body. We will go with symmetry, and we will try to mask as much as possible to make our armor. Yeah, if I have to say it as a proper Englishman, I would say armor, not armor. But since I'm not a proper Englishman, I would say armor, and I don't care. I don't care. Sorry. Armor. Armor. Yeah, it's difficult. The English is one of the most easiest languages in the world is English. So easy. You know, Bulgarian language, pretty difficult, I would say. English, pff, easy. Yeah, of course, if you want to perfect one language, doesn't matter which one, probably not so easy. But if you want to just speak it a little bit and stuff, English is just your language. It's so easy. Inflate. Now, what I want to do is to drink some beer with you. What I want to do is to go get drunk with you. Or something like this. Let's see. This is very interesting armor, by the way. It looks a little bit strange. Let's symmetrize it. Okay. And maybe just move it around like this a little bit more. Yeah, it's difficult when you have a pose in one arm and the armor needs to be like close to the skin, but it cannot be since the muscles are different in both sides. And we are getting into some kind of a dilemma how to do it. And nobody can say. Nobody. If I have to do this for a game character or something, I would definitely do it in a pose, of course, not in this kind of pose. And then it will be easier because both sides will be mostly symmetrical. Not quite, not completely symmetrical as we can see, as we will see. But they will be mostly symmetrical, which is great. There are some things that will not be, like some belts and buckles and whatever. But many things will be symmetrical. And it will be easier. When you're doing something in a pose, you will bump into many interesting, curious things. But we have to be prepared. You better be prepared. Prepared. Yeah, I'm talking with my ass here. Okay, this is armor, or at least it looks like armor a little bit. Let's make thickness and see what we can do with it. Thick armor. Amazing. So good. I would say this is the best armor I have ever created in my whole little tiny life. By the way, you shouldn't think that your life is the most important thing in the world, although you probably will think that. But we are parts of the universe, and we are very, very insignificant part of the universe, I would say. So, yeah, we have to acknowledge that. And when we understand that, then it will be much easier for us to think about all our problems or issues just easier, in my opinion. Let's see what we can do now. Cylinder. Amazing. Why do we have this cylinder? This will be one of the belts though, so we will see. I usually do the belts like this. And I will take this and put it down. So this will be a belt in here. Okay, but I will do it again and I will put it in here, and this will be another belt in this area. Of course, I will make it like this and push it. Yeah, keep push it. Yeah, keep push it. Static X, by the way, one of my favorite bands back in the early 2000s. Static X was very famous back in the days, along with Limp Bizkit, Korn, and of course Linkin Park. Those are the new metal bands, or neo metal, or new metal, I don't know exactly, but some kind of metal. It should be some kind of metal, I would say. Maybe not exactly a gold metal, but bronze metal? Why not? Maybe silver metal. Or heavy metal. Heavy metal is uranium, plutonium, those kind of things. Those are heavy metals. And lead is kind of heavy metal. Not exactly super heavy. And many people will ask, Nico, what are you talking about? No, they will ask differently. They will say, Nico, what the fuck are you talking about? Which is absolutely a valid thing to ask. And I would say, thank you for that question. No, just when I'm sculpting and talking that much, at some point I start to bump into some existential themes. You know, I don't know what's happening. Something is happening, but who knows? We have a lot of stuff to do for this character. At the end of this stream, this character will look decent. But don't make a mistake to think that this character is finished at the end of the stream. No, it will be just kind of like a 3D sketch, which I call something that you do, just the general things, just to see how the character will look at the end when it's actually finished. It's not gonna be actually finished in this stream. Believe me. Believe me. Please. Forgive me also. Please. Please forgive me. I don't know what I do. Please believe me. I can't stop loving you. Oh, believe it. Bryan Adams. Amazing. I listen to all kind of music, with some exceptions. Although sometimes when I'm very excited and very nervous, I like to put classical music, which in this case Vivaldi. Vivaldi is a classical music composer. He's very famous, and he's not exactly famous with his very subtle music, relaxing music, but I like it. Okay, Carpathian Forest is donating 10 euro. 10 euro! Used your female anatomy course and love it. Thank you very much. you paid now more than you paid for the cruise, actually. So, no, it's probably a little bit less, but it's amazing. Thank you very much. The hand looks short. No, yeah, sometimes, and most of the time, when the hand is in fist, it looks short. So don't worry about it. It looks short, but it's not. But there's another thing. When something looks short, you have to fix it. You know, even if it's not exactly short, if it looks short for most people, or it looks a certain way, you probably should fix it, because it will be bad. I'm telling you, it will be bad. I'm telling you, guys, it will be very bad if we don't fix it. But we'll see about the arms. Let's see the whole thing with some armors and stuff. Maybe the cape. Let's see the cape. No, it's too complicated. I will not do it. But if we want, we could do the cape also. I would not recommend it, but why don't we do the cape, actually? Since the cape is kind of difficult, I will start with a plane. Now, this plane will be the cape. You will ask, but Nico, why are you lying to us? How this plane can be the cape? Yes, I know it sounds silly, but bear with me here. We will start doing some stuff to this plane, and at some point it will start to come into place or something. Yes. And it will look kind of like a real cape, or at least like a 3D cape. Overall, yeah. So, this stream, how long this stream will be, you will ask. Thank you for this question. This stream probably will be at least 2 hours, as I can see. But it doesn't matter. What matters is, we need to do this character, we are doing it. But how much time it will take, and no, it's relax. It's fine. We have time. At least today. On this earth, we don't have too much time, actually. You know, the age of the universe is couple of billion or whatever years. So in this amount of time, we are pretty much, insignificant. So why are we making ourselves so significant? I don't know. We're trying to be significant, but we're not. So we are making wars, invading Ukraine, and doing some other stuff just to look significant, It's, I don't know, interesting. Yeah, we are also invading countries with oil, like some other people, Some people will ask, are you for Russia or you're for America? Are you for the West or for the East? For some things I'm for the West, for some things I'm for the East, but I'm especially not for war. And yes, I know USA have made couple of wars in their career. Not too little. But you forget that Russia at the same time was doing the same thing in other countries which are close to Russia. Russia is not able to make war outside Russia, basically, too much. Because the military of Russia is concentrated mostly with tanks and artillery. That's the most. They don't have that much planes and aircraft carriers and stuff like this. So they cannot go to the other side of the world and take the oil from there. Usually they cannot do that. America, on the other hand, USA, no problem. Aircraft carriers, a lot of them. A lot of aircrafts, a lot of bombs, a lot of rockets, a lot of military, which is Marines. And yeah, they can go everywhere and do many things. So yeah, both countries since they are leaders and big countries and with a lot of resources, they can do a lot of bad stuff, and they are doing that. But now, this war is too close to my ass for my liking, so I am a little bit more concerned about this one. And since this one is provoked, okay, many people will say it's provoked by the West. Okay, probably it's like that. But actually, who did the invasion? I would say it was not the West. I'm pretty certain it was not. I'm not sure. Of course, this is just bad. Again, speaking out of my ass, but Control R just to add here, and we can try to do this. Put it down. Maybe rotate it. No, don't rotate it. Maybe rotate it like this. How many faces you can handle before Blender start lagging? €2. A lot of people are donating euros today. Very interesting. So how many faces? I don't know. When I reach about 40 million, for example, Blender starts to lag a little bit, but it depends on how those faces are put. If they are on one object, a lot of faces, it's not a huge issue. If those faces are on many small objects, then it could be an issue. And especially if you have subsurface modifier. By the way, subsurface modifier is something that's lagging a lot. If you have, let's say, 10 million polygons. Let's say we have 10 million polygons on one mesh. And we have just subdivided it by dynameshing. It should be fine. It will lag a little bit, but nothing too much. But if it's like a mesh which is, let's say, 1 million and subdivided twice, then it will be around 8 million, I guess. And then it will be a problem. Then it will lag a lot more. Subdivision modifiers are still something that Blender cannot handle quite well. Now he has to have a tail also, so let's make a tail. I don't know why today people are donating, but it's probably one of those days that people feel generous. You know, again, I'm saying that I don't quite need donations. I'm selling courses, they are doing relatively well. I cannot complain. I don't need to make money from YouTube that much. I usually don't monetize my videos until they get to around 20,000 views at least. Then I know that they will get higher view count and I put the monetization on, and then they have advertisement. This video, for example, in the beginning, until it reaches at least 20,000 views, it will not be monetized. It shouldn't have advertisement on it. If it has, then YouTube is bullshitting, you know. So if you don't actually have money to live, don't hesitate. Don't donate, you know. Don't hesitate and don't donate to anybody. You need this money, keep it to yourself. Don't donate. If you have the money to donate, then yes, probably it's fine, but don't if you don't. Now this is very ugly. Now if you see this in 3D, it's ugly. Because those two strands of hair are pretty close to each other, it doesn't look well. If we want to fix this, what we will do is like this. It will fix it a little bit if we put this kind of a middle strand and those small strands on the side. It will fix it up kind of a little bit, but those things has to be sharp in here. You know, making a nice stylized fur is not exactly the easiest thing that in the world, I would say. I have done that, but not without help. You know, I'm doing something. For example, they give me a concept, which is like this concept. And then they say you have to do stylized tail, for example, and the fur on the face, it has to be stylized. And I say, okay, I will do something. And then I will give it to you for feedback. And yeah, and then I give it to the art director or the lead artist for feedback. And they're drawing for me, you know, how they want it. And usually I'm learning from that. So working in the studio is a learning experience. We learn from each other, you know. And I might say I've learned a lot from my colleagues. It's not my experience by learning is just myself sitting in front of my computer, learning everything by myself, alone, like a wolf in the forest and stuff like this. No, it's an experience that I've learned from my colleagues. They probably have learned from me some things, hopefully. If they don't, it's fine again. We shouldn't be, you know, our ego shouldn't be that big. If they haven't learned anything, it's fine. Probably we are not worth it. But, but probably they are. We are learning. Even not only when you are working in the studio, especially 3D artists. We are not like programmers. We can speak all the time, you know. We can work and speak, as you can see. We can work and speak, and we're talking like crazy. I mean, I'm sitting with one of my colleagues. He's also 3D artist. We're doing some models, and we are talking all day, non-stop. It's just enormous amount of talking that we're doing. That's probably the reason that I can do this. I mean, speaking and sculpting at the same time without too much of an issue, because I have a lot of training. And it was annoying for the other people. They were putting their headphones on and we were blabbering about life, about sculpting, about experiences that we had in our lives, a lot of things. It's very interesting. I mean, and also we are learning from each other, which is great. And since I have spoken so much with a person, with his experience and my experience, I become a better person, you know? Usually. Especially if the person that you are speaking with is an interesting person that has some interesting perspective on life and on other subjects, which I was having the pleasure to have. Okay, we did this little detail here, which is not so good, but we can put some cylinders or cones, no, Tauruses. We can put some Tauruses there, and you will see why. In just a second, few seconds. Yeah, we can do this with Snap, but I forgot how to do it with Snap. I have to watch a video about it to kind of get the idea how it was. You know, sometimes when I don't do something that often, I forget it, which is completely okay. Your brain just, you know, cannot remember everything. And if I needed to do it for a course or something, I just go and watch a video about it. Even sometimes I watch my old courses about some stuff just because I forgot it. Yeah, I know. It's unprofessional, I know, but it's true, and everybody does that. So even if it's unprofessional, maybe not many people are talking about it, but we are doing it. All right, now let's see. Oh, this looks better. I mean, with this kind of things, it looks almost professional. Let's try to do this kind of thinking here, because it gives a little bit of a perspective. Cylinder, put it down in edit mode. We always do that in edit mode. Don't try to do it in sculpt mode, in general mode, or what was the mode? Edit mode, object mode. Okay, I forgot the name of the modes, you know. Object mode, sculpt mode, what kind of mode we are in now, I don't know. Everything in mode. Nikon, you are better than many ZBrush artists who does work for Pixelogic. I don't know about that. You know, we cannot say who's better, who is worse. You know, boy, you're going darker every live stream. You'll be Wimbush in couple streams later and teach us how to use Unreal Engine 5 for motion graphics. Probably not exactly. I guess I will not do that, but who knows? Nobody knows. Blender performance is sculpting and multi-resolution issues will be addressed probably by 4.3. If they are, I'll be glad. Because I like multi-resolution, I just don't like that it's buggy and it's lagging and it's everything, so I usually use just Dynamesh. Not Dynamesh, but the remeshing. Only if I really need to have a really clean high poly, I would make a low poly, most likely with this program, Quad Remesh, which is paid by the way, but whatever. I most likely will do it with the Quad Remesh, and then I will do multi-resolution and project my details, and then I will have a cleaner mesh. But I prefer not to do it because of the lag. I have a better video card now than I had like 6 months ago. So probably it should be a little bit faster and not so laggy if something happens. But I still don't want to risk it. I always, even in ZBrush, were having saving the polygons. I was not just throwing away polygons like crazy on the model. I was like, okay, just relax. With fewer polygons, it will be better. Always. I was always like that. This is just my way of work. That's why I'm doing pretty much great in Blender. I don't care. Okay, you see, it's starting to look not exactly like the concept. I will not say that, but it's looking kind of fine. Maybe the head is too small, as always. Yes, I know. But it doesn't look bad. Nico, I can't afford a PC and I want to sculpt. Should I stick to sketching till I buy one? Yes, it's better to learn how to draw before you sculpt instead of just wait until you get the PC. So draw, it's fine. Hello friend, can you please tell me more about PC specs? Okay, let's see my PC specs. What are those PC specs? And I will show it to you right now. So you see, memory 64 gigabytes, CPU Ryzen 9 3950X 16 core, which 16 core, but it's like 32 threads, so a lot. It's a very good processor, one of the best mainstream processors of AMD from 3 or 4 years ago when I bought it. Yeah. Disk, hard disk, something, a couple of disks, and GPU NVIDIA GeForce RTX 4070 Super. 4070 is a good video card, but 4070 Super is, let's say, around 15 to 20% better, and the price is kind of similar, so 4070 Super is better. Of course, if you can afford 4070 Ti Super or 4080 Super or Ti or 4090, I don't recommend 4090. First, it's super expensive. Second, it has a lot of issues, and one of the biggest issues is that it's enormously big. I haven't seen the 4090 in person, but I've seen a lot of videos, and in the videos it looks like it's almost the height of my PC5. PlayStation 5 is pretty big console compared to PlayStation 4. I have both. And the 4090 video card looks like it's almost the size of the PlayStation, so it's just not good. I don't like it. Привет, а що Темор внизу не убереш больше полезного мета и пофрешно как раз? I don't understand quite well what you said here. Yeah, I understand Russian, but simple Russian, not complex Russian, you know. Try simple Russian, more simplified, you know. Timeline editors eat viewport space. Really? It's eat my space? I will dial it down like this. But I want to be able to see if there is an animation going like this. Now it's better, right? Amazing, yes. Nico, maybe stupid question. Don't worry. Don't worry. How to find good concept in Fortnite style? I have spent a lot of time and found not so much. I don't know. I don't know. This is some kind of a stylized style. It's like Fortnite. It's like there are other games similar to that. So I don't know. No, you don't need exactly concept. If you want to do models for like Fortnite style, just find in ArtStation people who have done models for Fortnite and just try to copy them. It's a good exercise, and you will kind of at some point after you do a couple of models, you will start to get the style as a whole. And maybe you can do a model for yourself. I don't know. But studying other people's models, especially in the style that you want, is a pretty good exercise. I'm cutting some skin of mine right now because there are those blisters, or I don't know how they're called here. When I'm doing pull-ups, those things formed and they're pretty hardcore, and sometimes I'm cutting them, you know, with my collection of knives. This is a knife from a Ukrainian designer, by the way. It's a folding knife from Max Tkachuk. He's a Ukrainian guy, and it's a amazing design, but I like it a lot. This is one of my favorite knives. All right, let's see. Although it's not, by far, it's not even one of my most expensive knives, but it's one of my favorite. So sometimes expensive doesn't mean shit. It doesn't mean good or useful. Okay, let's make some armor here and some armor on the legs and maybe a little bit of a sword. And we will be done. And how much time do we have? Yeah, this stream will be longer than 2 hours. I'm sorry, guys, but that's the way it is. And we cannot do anything about it. Except for making it shorter, but we will not. We will just keep it big. You know, today I have the, how to say it, inspiration to do something like this. Usually I would do just the face of it, just the bust of it for kind of an hour, hour and a half. But today I have the inspiration to do the whole thing. Yeah, just the basic whole thing, but the whole thing. It's so I'm using this inspiration to do it, and I will not stop. Let's go to the cape and try to generate one subdivision surface about this and edge like this. Let's try this. Yeah, this is a little bit better, although maybe a little bit more like this. Yeah, it's still, the cape is still symmetrical, which is bad. It's not the best, but it's it will happen. Now let's go and add a plane. This plane will be our armor here. And I'm doing it very stupidly, I would say, but you will have to forgive me for that. If you cannot forgive me for that, we will have problems. So probably you should be able to forgive me for that. So yeah, we will not have problems if you do. Now this I will move back and up. This I will move down like that, and we will generate solidify. So we have thickness of this. And then with the sculpting tools, I will fix it. Okay, like this, like this. Cool. Now, next. Duplicate. Put it down. It does look relatively bad, but with the help of the sculpting brushes, we probably will be able to fix it, kind of. I don't know. Should be able to fix it. At least up to a point. Okay, now this upper portion, I will do this. It's a little bit of a fake because this will go inside his body, but we don't care. I mean, we don't actually care. It's just, we care about how it looks. If it looks fine, we are fine. Even if it goes inside of his body or whatever, we don't care. Mirror, so it goes to the other side too. Nice, and maybe two more. Let's try this one and this one. Shift D to duplicate, and now we have to move them, because I like to move it, and yeah. I like the move brush, by the way, and this is not a move brush. In ZBrush, it's move brush. In Blender, it's not exactly a move brush. It's called grab brush. Very original. Yeah, again, what I'm doing here, I'm mocking Blender. My now favorite program, and I'm mocking it. What's wrong with me? Why am I a hater? I don't know. But, you know, this makes me look better or something, because I have issues. Low self-esteem and other things. Yeah, you might think that Nico, he doesn't have low self-esteem. He's a renowned artist and he can do many things and stuff. But low self-esteem, you don't choose it. It chooses you. So when you see somebody hating things, people, he's doing it mostly because of his low self-esteem. Because he wants to bump himself up by lowering others down. And again, Psychologic Nico strikes. Psycho Nico. But you know, those are logical things. If you think about it, you will see the logic in this. Just think about it. Okay, not bad. I would say we have this. Let's see. Nico, can you show us your drawing tablet? Why do you need? I have to turn it off and to show it to you, but this is one by Wacom. And I have one in my backpack also for traveling. By the way, the last time, this was the last stream when I was doing the tiger thigh boxer, tiger boxer. It's very interesting. I did it with a mouse because I forgot to take the cable of my tablet. So I didn't have the way to connect it to my laptop, and I had to do the stream with the mouse, which turned out pretty well, I would say. Mouse stream, we call it. In our purposes, we call it mouse stream. By the way, let's try to make all of these armors of the leg with just... Let me show you how. Ni hao. Let me show you ni hao, how to do it. Like this. And then extract. And then inflate a little bit, just to be able to see it. And then sharpen this area. And this is what I call the real 3D sketch. Because we are doing really stupid things right now. Which means that this is not useful at all for production or whatever. But this is just to see how the overall armor will look when we actually do it with polygons and everything. Interesting, I know. But again, don't do it like this. It's not supposed to be done in such a way. It's supposed to be done properly, which means by different meshes. Here it's difficult to understand what is where and which mesh is where and how this is working, but with a little bit more observation and try and fail and error, we will be able to do it. Probably. We should be. And here we don't have enough geometry, so we probably will need to do something, and I will show you what we'll do, but first. Yeah, we always do but first. Because it's more appropriate, but first. Instead of head first, you know? It's normal. Alright, so here, let's do like this. Like there are some separate meshes or whatever. It doesn't look super bad. I would say it's relatively fine. Let's go with solidify. Increase. Come on. Increase. And then I will do something that I will be sorry for the rest of my life, but I will remesh it. Why, Nico? Why did you remesh it? You ruined it. Crazy bastard. Yeah, I know, but it's... I just wanted it to do it. And you're judging, you know? Calling me crazy bastard, you're judging me. So don't judge. Just observe, learn. Judging, leave it to the judges. I'm trying to say that to myself when I'm starting to judge, but you know, it's so it's so embedded in myself to judge people that I'm caughing myself, I'm catching myself a little bit too late, you know. Sometimes I'm like, but in my head, look at this guy. He has very bad teeth. Why didn't he go to the dentist? What's happening here? He doesn't have money for dentist probably. So he's poor. And, you know, starting to get this kind of things. And suddenly I realize, what are you doing? You're judging again. But I'm good to myself. I say, okay, you're judging, but next time try to judge less. Then less, then less, and then stop judging at some point if you can. If you cannot, again, self-improvement is a journey, it's not destination. You cannot reach some level of... There is always another level of self-improvement. You can always be better. Okay, we have some relative armor. Now here I will put this sword in his arm, which is this sword. How can we do this sword? It's we're gonna sculpt it most likely because I don't know how to do it otherwise, but sculpting it we can do it actually. How many pull-ups do you do? Usually I can do like 10 to 12 pull-ups in one go, but when I do series of pull-ups, I do 8, then I do 8, and then I do 8 again. 1 minute of rest between them. So 24. 3 by 8, 24. 24 pull-ups. Push-ups I can do like 40 at one go. So it's, yeah, you know, strong. Let me show you. Do you feel like Blender holds you back? No, I don't, you know. We can't read worms, like said one dude in Call of Duty. Good, Heiniko, just hopped on stream. Any tips on how to get better at animal anatomy? I know how to get better in everything. There is a little trick that you can use to get better in everything. Practice it a lot. I know, it sounds counterintuitive, but it works. So if you want to get better in animal anatomy, put like 1000 hours in animal anatomy, like do some elephants, do some cats, do some wolves, horses. Not do them. No. Sculpt them. Yeah. Maybe a goat here and there. Do goats. And yeah, at some point, you'll be good in animal anatomy. And why do you need to be good in animal anatomy? I know why. I will tell you why. Because it's good for monster creation. If you want to create monsters, first you need to be good in animal and human anatomy. I don't like that too much, but let's increase the thickness and we'll be fine. Yeah. Alright, what can we do now? What? I don't know. Let's do some Taurus. Almost 2 hours into this, and we have armors, we have stuff, but again, this is only a 3D sketch. So after this is done, we can do a kind of a basic render just to show to the client how this will look at the end relatively, you know, so they can give us feedback for proportions and other stuff. And then the real job starts, the real work that will take us hours and hours to refine everything, to make it from scratch. For example, the boots, only if I have to do all the things for the boots, it will take a couple of hours, only for the boots. Even for me, you know, if you consider me like fast, you understand that it's, yeah, a lot of hours have to be put. Now, let's make the sword, by the way. At least let's try to make the sword. 90 degrees. Okay, now this will be our sword. Let's delete half of it. And it doesn't look like a sword too much right now, but I'm hoping at some point in the process it will start at least to resemble a sword. This will be this portion here with the horns, and yeah, it still doesn't look quite like horns or whatever, but as I said, patience, you know, trust the process. Sometimes you just have to trust the process. When I'm drinking, for example, rakia, which is brandy, here in the Balkans we have this brandy called rakia. Sometimes people make them by themselves. I usually drink it on restaurants. In the beginning it's not so nice to drink it because it's like a whiskey or something, but I trust the process and I know that at some point I will feel very good with it. So you have to trust the process, that's what I'm saying, you know. Trust the process, my friends. Don't worry about anything. Okay, I will look at from the front view. And this will be better, because then I will not have to go and fix some things. Okay, move it. Because we like to move it as we already established. And not only to move it, we like to move it. Double move it. Now we'll put it like this. Handle, extrude, and extrude. And yeah, okay, this is not, again, not the proper way to do this, but it is a way. It's actual some way to do it. Now we will add solidify modifier, and not a small one, a big one, like this. Big solidify. Now, what we want to do, or we have to do is, I don't know, we'll see. Apply the solidify modifier. No, apply the mirror first. Let me see. Yeah, apply the mirror first and then the solidify modifier. And then we are left with this stupid thing. But if we go and add a couple of mirrors, no, our other symmetry is way far back, I guess. So let's move all the things in the middle of our screen from the left a little bit more in the middle, like this. And now, probably, it should work. Let's see. It doesn't. Because the symmetry is not where we want it to be. But, if we go and apply all transforms, then it doesn't work again. Why? I don't care. Let's move it like this. This will be our handle. This will be the top of the thing. This here will be our horns, which I want them to be a little bit smaller. So I will scale them down like this. But mostly I want them to scale them down like this. And this like this. Not so much though, especially this portion. We don't want it to be that small. And move it here. Now, we want a sidebar, not here, here. Good. Then we will select those and move it in, so it's sharp. Now it's sharp. It wasn't sharp before, now it's sharp. So remember that. And let's try to symmetrize it. In sculpt mode though. Now it's the same on both sides. And it looks like a proper sword. But it misses one thing. This kind of a skull shape thing here. Which we will do. But first, we'll have to go and, of course, remesh it. Sorry about that, but we have to. And we remeshed it. Now it's remeshed. It's amazing. I don't know if Y will work. Where is my Y? Ah, it's there. Okay. Let's try to move it again back to the primitive in the middle. And it's lagging. Now it's lagging. A little bit. Yeah, there is a way to do it more appropriately, but I kind of don't remember how. So I will do it like this. And it will be fine. Y symmetry. Okay, we have it. And it's looking great. So now let's do those things. And you can see it's easy. This was in Bulgarian, by the way. Easy all the way, we may say, if we have to do it in French. No, I don't know French, so probably it's not French. Probably it's something like English, but my English. My English is not exactly the real English, you know. Here I will do just a sketch of what this should look like. These are the eyes here, a little bit more thick here. It's going down. Those are two fangs going down like this. Here we have some interesting stuff. Here we move this. Again, more interesting. Inflate some areas if we have to, and do some random stuff. Alright, it doesn't look amazing, but it doesn't look bad either, so it's relatively fine. Maybe if we put more polygons, which I usually don't do. I mean, I do it if I have to do it for production. I will just do it a basic stuff like this, and then I will do another or couple of passes with more resolution for better viewer experience. But for now, this will work for us. Let's go and disable all the symmetries. Maybe I will keep the Y symmetry, but X symmetry disable, because I want to do the bottom part, and I want it to be similar to the concept. Something like this would have to do, or will have to do. I'm broken. Okay, good. Now, we take this big sword and put it in his small arm. Let's see how this will work. What happened? It just comes and goes. Now I want this sword to be bigger. So I'll make it bigger. And he will hold it, but how? Maybe the handle needs to be smaller. Probably. And he will be able to hold it. Like this. I don't need the sword to cover all his legs. So we'll do it something like this. And the handle, we need to make it a little bit more interesting. So I will take it, Alt S to scale it down like this. Yeah, it's bad, but it's fine. I will smooth it, and it should be. Okay, I will inflate it even a little bit. Amazing stuff. And let's just, I don't know, we will not be able to make some render, proper render or whatever, because we will have, it will be too much time consuming. Although render is one of the very important things that you should do with your models. We might leave it like this, since even the concept doesn't have too much colors. So why should we have colors? And why did I make the sword in his arm? Because why is this arm like this? It's because it's holding the sword usually. So that's why I did it. It's interesting. I will not say it's the best that I have done, but for 2 hours exactly, it's fine. I will increase the head a little bit. I think it will be better with increased head, even more increased. Yeah, now it's more like it. More like the concept, we may say. Okay, let's leave it like this, and we will see some comments. What do you do for fun? For fun, I'm usually traveling. Traveling is very much, and I watch some TV shows or whatever. Do you bleed? No, of course not. How do you think? I'm not bleeding, ever. Do not do goats. I don't know. Some people are doing goats, so I don't know. Why so little head? I increased it. It's Nico. If the head is not small, at first something is wrong. Exactly. Rakia is goated. Yes. What's the proper way to do sword? The way that I did it is kind of okay, but if I have to do it for production or whatever, I probably will do the handle and the actual sword, the blade, separate objects. It will be better to separate them, but in this case it's fine. Good, okay. Wow, Nico, you're so good. You should work in a studio someday. That's a good one. Hello, Nico, I'm talking one of your courses in ZBrush. I wanted to know what perspective value do you use? I use focal length of 90 usually. What's your favorite movie? My favorite movie? One of my favorite movies is what was it called? Shaolin Soccer is one of my favorite movies actually, and the other one from the same, I think, director or the same actor is I forgot the name. Kung Fu Hustle. Kung Fu Hustle, amazing movie, so nice, so absurd and so nice. Kung Fu Hustle. Also, I like other movies like What Women Want with Mel Gibson. I think What Women Want is the name of the movie. Mel Gibson. And of course, one of the best movies of all time that many people are saying that, and I also like it a lot, is Shawshank Redemption. Based by one little story from Stephen King, by the way. Hey Nico, what's your favorite best tutorial with ZBrush? Because I still prefer sculpting in ZBrush. My tutorial that I recommend with ZBrush is, unfortunately, it's not. I'm not selling it, but I did it. The Orc Cyborg, probably. Това ще е добре за 3D принтер. Може и да е добре. Ама трябва още много работа. So the guy is saying in Bulgarian that this will be good for 3D printing, and I'm saying that probably it will be, but it needs a lot more work in order to be good for 3D printing. For example, if I have to say, it will need at least 10 more hours of work from my side. If somebody slower have to do it, it will be more. Do you have plans to work as a senior or lead someday in the industry? Also, have you ever dreamed to work as character artist abroad? Not a dream, but if they offered me, I had a good offer, by the way. It was not exactly an offer; it was a consideration. They considered me for a lead character artist for one game, which was beginning. It was a new studio. The game was beginning production, and let me just take this call because I have a call. Кажи бързо. Да. Добре, вземи едно. Макадамия ще вземеш ли? Добре, айде. She will not take macadamia. I like macadamia nuts. They're one of the most expensive nuts, but they're so nice, so oily. I mean, very, very cool. Macadamia. I don't know how it's called. So we are buying very cheap from one place, but it's 1 kilogram. So you have to buy 1 kilogram, so it's cheaper. And she will not take. I don't know. But so I was they were considering me for this position of lead character artist, 3D, but they didn't take me. The salary was pretty good, but I would have to work like 8 hours every day, and I'm not used to that anymore. I was working, yes, in the studio 8 hours. Nowadays, I like my free time more. So I don't know if I will be able to work in a studio again. Probably at some point. I will miss it, but we'll see. Maybe the kids will have to grow a little bit more, and then. Nico, is that you mean that whatever the concept artist pose the character, we can sculpt it in the T pose, and then the rigging artist will have to work on that pose? Yes, but not T pose, A pose. Or do we have to sculpt that pose to show it and then getting approval from the art director? No, you have to. If this is your concept and you have to do it for a game, you don't sculpt it in this pose. You sculpt it in A pose. You imagine the character in A pose and you sculpt it. And that's one of the skills, of course, of a character artist. Have you ever tried doing one of the Transformers? No. You shouldn't. It's too much work. And at the end, I don't like the Transformers. Like, their design is not exactly that good, in my opinion. And they're so complex. There are a lot of parts I don't like. Ongbak is good. I'm a beginner in character design and I have learned a lot from you. Love your love from India. Thank you. The Buddhist Palm. Yeah, this is from Kung Fu Hustle. Why do you need 10 more hours to finish it? What detail would you work on? The boots. And the boots is one of the details that I like to work on. The cape a little bit. The shoulder armor needs a lot more work. The face also needs a lot more work to look nicer. And it will be, for the face, especially for the fur, it will be trial and error and getting back and forward. It's not a straightforward process. I will try some things. I will probably smooth them out, try other things, and what works best I will leave. It will not be just the straightforward because you cannot quite literally see the stylized folds in the stylized hairs in the concept. So you have to imagine them somehow, and in order for them to be good, I have to try and difficult. Did you know from the beginning you want to go for the character artist path, or did you try other paths along? In the beginning, I was a concept artist. So I was a 2D artist for like 3 years, and then I became a character artist, and I liked it so much, and I decided that this will be my path. This was just a trial and error again, but everything was in the art path, you know, not some other thing. Just trying to work what was my hobby. Before that, I was the designer. I was designing websites, I was designing posters, whatever. I liked it because it was also kind of an art, but I liked more to draw, to create something from scratch. And then I applied to Gameloft as a concept artist, and then everything starts to work. Nico tried to make some characters from the Matrix. They're not that interesting, like silhouette wise, so I don't know. Is it difficult to find job as a 3D sculptor? Thank you. Nowadays it's very difficult because of the overall condition of the gaming industry, which is very much down. Gaming and entertainment industry now is not very good. Gaming and entertaining industry as a whole is doing very well during times where the overall economy is well. Now the economy of the world is not very well, so the gaming industry is down. When the economy goes back up, which will eventually happen, probably in 2 or 3 years, I don't know, then the gaming company will start to hire people again. Everything will go back to normal. Now it's a little bit difficult. Can you do some Miyazaki, Dark Soul or Elden Ring type of sculpting next time? I don't know, this one is kind of like that, you know. Someday you should do stuff from things from Neon Jesse Evangelion. Yeah, but this I think was with big robots, so I don't know. Hello Nico, what do you think about the formation of New Edge at Parish to be a 3D character artist, if you know it? No, I don't know it. Amazing, actual talent. It's not a talent, it's just a lot of hours. A lot of hours. Thousands of hours, you know. If you call that talent, yeah. I want your Orc Cyborg tutorial. How can I get it and pay you? I don't think you can, you know. Because I did it for Next Tooth Education, and they are selling it. They paid me like how much? They paid me like $3,000 or $3,500, something like this. And I did the tutorial for them, and then they're selling it. Now they made a lot more money with the tutorial, but that's why I started to make tutorials for me, my courses. Because I saw that when I do courses for others, they're getting the big money, not me. Or bigger money, you know. If you do this course like 1 month or 2 months, I'm doing the course for 2 months, and I get a little bit like my salary on Gameloft. So not too much money, and not everybody can do those courses. You have to talk a lot, you have to know a lot. So it's better to just do it for myself, I realized. And I started doing that. I started with the Absolute Beginner ZBrush course. I then did the Female Anatomy, I think. And the other courses followed. Do you expert traditional sculptor as a student? No, I haven't done traditional sculpting at all. When I bake normal map, the map turns into black and white. Normal map usually don't do that. I personally prefer sculpting in T-pose. Do you think it's much more beneficial to learn and use A-pose in portfolio? Yes, T-pose is not used in the industry anymore, I think. Did you sculpt every day and for how many hours? Nowadays not so much, but back in the days I was sculpting for more than 8 hours a day. I was sculpting at work, for work, because I was working in the studio for 15 years. So I was sculpting some characters for the studio, for the games. And then I gone back and sculpt for myself. Just my things, just things that I imagined. Just I liked it to sculpt so much. I still like to sculpt, but nowadays I have kids, I have other responsibilities, so I sculpt a little bit less. And I use these streams not only to promote my courses, not only to promote my YouTube channel, I use them also as an opportunity to sculpt, you know, which is nice. How do you balance worrying about choosing the right tools and workflows with the fast improving and changing of pipelines and improving your own style and skills. You know, the pipelines changed a lot around the year 2008, 2009, 2010. Then it came the normal map and everything. It started to be implemented more and more, especially in mobile games. A little bit before that, it was implemented in the PC games. So then the pipeline changed. After that, the pipeline is relatively the same. It's making high poly, which is the most difficult part, and the bigger part of the time, the most time consuming part is the high poly. Then you're making the low poly, which is surrounding your high poly with polygons, so you get most of the details, most of the silhouette, but with way less polygons. Then, considering some animations, how things will move, of course, there are some things to consider. Then UV mapping, making the UVs so we can make texture. Then baking, usually in Substance Painter we bake. You can bake in Marmoset, you can bake in Blender even, but I prefer baking in Substance Painter. And then doing some work in Substance Painter to refine the texture a little bit, and it's kind of ready for exporting and giving it to the artists who are rigging, animating, and the artists who are making the textures also, because usually in the big studios you have texture artists. So we're making basic texture and they're refining it. But in the big studios, in the small studios, one artist probably is doing everything. Can I confirm that T-pose isn't used that often? Yes, T-pose is not used that often. Is it harder to make 3D models for PC or mobile games? There is any difference? There was difference back in the days, now not so much. Of course, for bigger titles in PC or console, you will have more polygons, more detail, and requirements are bigger, but the overall pipeline is the same. Considering what you said about the 3D industry, do you think for a beginner it will be hard to find a job? Definitely yes. Nowadays, yes. But if that beginner can spend the time, like 2 or 3 years now, to learn and to become better and better, at some point companies will start hiring again, and you will be ready because you will be spending this time wisely. Now it's not exactly the time for a beginner to find a job in the industry. Should every 3D sculptor be able to draw? No. Love your streams to listen as I work. Is there any way to transition into 3D modeling sculpting if my day job isn't related at all at the subject? Yes, there is always a way to transition in any job, but you have to practice it a lot. You have to start putting the hours. There is no other way, in my opinion, Don't worry about jobs, worry about your skills. Jobs come to you if you're good. That's true, but not many people can afford to sit and practice without job. Usually you have to find some job to just make ends meet, to have bread, to have something to eat. And then if there is time which you have like free time, then you can sculpt or do whatever. And it's not very easy, but sometimes things are not exactly easy. T-pose has a lot of distortion around the underarms. A pose allows for more natural deformations. Exactly. Nico, amazing stuff. Looks like a boss from Dark Souls. Yeah, some people are asking for Dark Souls model. Here it is. Currently, what is your full-time job? I'm a father. That's one of the full-time jobs that I have. And also, I am a teacher. I am doing the streams. I'm a YouTuber. I'm a streamer. That's mostly my full-time job. Since we separated with Gameloft, me and Gameloft separated ourselves. We went separate ways. It was almost 2 years ago. Since then, I was just sometimes freelancing, streaming, sculpting, making courses, and the main money that I get is from the courses that I sell, which are in the description of this video, by the way, many of you know. Do you first do a concept pose and then a pose version for rigging and gamers? No, the a pose immediately. And we don't pose it for the concept. Usually, when you do something for the game model, you just do it for a pose. You do a pose. You don't do pose like the concept. Heck, finding a job, create your own reality, find a small group and create small projects together. That's also true, but funding is usually the problem, especially if you have family. If you don't have family, you're alone, then it's not that difficult. But if you already have some family and transition from your regular job to some other job, it's difficult. No, Dark Souls is more gothic and dark. Probably yes. When you first sculpted, were your sculpts good? You can find them in my other channel, link in the description of this video, by the way. And in my other channel, I have a video about my artistic journey. You can find it there. The thumbnail of the video is with the Teenage Mutant Turtle Leonardo, I think, is in the thumbnail, along with my orc cyborg creation. You will see. And then I talk about everything there, my artistic journey, how I sculpted. I show my sculpts. I show my earlier drawings, because I started as a 2D artist. Yeah, are 3D jobs hard because of competence or economy? Both, because nowadays the economy is down. Many companies are cutting off workers, so there are a lot of 3D artists, not only 3D, 2D. Producers, game designers, everywhere, every position in the gaming industry, they are on the streets. And now they're competing for jobs with you. And they are more experienced and they are better sometimes. So it's very difficult for young artists to find a job right now. That's what I'm saying. Have you ever planned or ever think about it to work in, for example, movie industry, making stuff like Avatar or David Jones and so on? No. This is not for me, because I don't have the patience to do projects which are lasting long. Like one of those models for Avatar or for the Pirates of Caribbean, it takes months to do probably. And it takes months for many people to do it. So it will be a collaborative project for many people to do such model. I don't like that. I don't completely like that, yes. Gameloft made one of the finest games on Android, but they fell off, to be honest. Yeah, because other companies came off, like new companies like Supercell. And yeah, you say Transformers is harder because it's hard surface modeling. It's hard surface. It's harder because it's hard surface. No, it's harder because there are a lot of parts. And it's not sculpting. For me, sculpting is the best part of the 3D. That's why I'm a 3D sculptor mostly, and I like to do anatomy figures. I like to do, soft surface, not hard surface, organic. Hard surface I have to do, and I can do, but I don't like it as much. Thank you for a great content. Thank you. Have you ever body modeled body muscles? Yes, in the beginning. I was doing that. This is my flashlight, by the way. And I'm doing that to myself. I don't know why. Probably I have to stop this stream already. Nico, hi, what do you think about AI? I've been working in the industry for 5 years and I love my job, but AI scares me. You should be scared about AI a little bit, but not too much. In the beginning, now AI is not a threat to us, 3D artists. It will start to get to being a threat at some point, but if we use it as a tool to fasten our work, we probably will okay, but we have to start using it most likely. Hello Nico, can you tell me why it breaks geometry when I get geometry from the object and get thickness and then remesh? No, this is a very specific question I cannot quite answer, Yeah. You can remesh, smooth, inflate, fix, remesh again, and it should be fine. Hi Nico, do you plan your routine? Doing to-do lists and those kind of things? Yes and no. I write some notes about what I have to do next day, or I write in my calendar, the Google Calendar, what I have to do, but not exactly like to-do list. Yeah, it's something like to-do list. Because when you grow older, there are a lot of things that you have to do. For example, I have to pay the taxes for the car. I have to get the car to the check so they can check it. I have to take it to the somewhere. There are a lot of things considering the car. There are a lot of things considering myself. I have to go to train. I have to go to box. I have to go something. So yeah, I do some things, some to-do lists. But yes, okay. 2 hour and 25 minutes is completely enough for this stream. Bye for now, guys, and see you in the next one, which will be someday. We don't know. Maybe next Monday we should be able to do